Hello and welcome back to the weekly Q&A. Here we are, ready to answer some questions, and right now I'm trying to figure out if said questions are more or less than they usually are. I don't know. It seems like they are less in number, but everyone seems to have done more with the space that they were given this week, if that makes sense. It seems like all the questions are much longer, asking for more juicy details, and I think that could be okay. Let's have a look. I'm going to start right away because I'm going to be releasing a channel update video within the next couple of days. So actually probably just at the end of the weekend. So Sunday, Monday-ish. I'll probably record it on Sunday for Monday. So I'm not going to be talking about that kind of stuff now as I actually usually do. You can just wait till then for that. I'll tell you about everything. What's going on, what I'm happy with, what I'm not happy with. There's obviously more that I'm happy with than not happy with, and all that other stuff. We are actually, as of right now, steadily approaching 17,000 subscribers, and that is amazing. That's worth celebrating, I think. Maybe we can talk about that for a second. I must say that from 16,900 to 17,000 was the slowest crawl ever. I don't know why, it went kind of fast from like 16,000 to 16,850 or so. And then after that, maybe I was just paying way too much attention after that. Because I was like, yes, 17,000. So close to 20,000 and then so close to 1,000,000. I guess. Not quite. Not quite. But still, 17,000 is a rather large number. I realize all of you don't watch all the videos I put up, but there are still 17,000 of you. And I'm assuming most of those 17,000 are real accounts with real people behind them. That's amazing. 17,000. Think about that number. I couldn't invite each and every one of you over here for some coffee. No, you wouldn't fit in my house. That's how many you are. Wow. That puts things in perspective. It really does. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing and watching the videos and all that other good stuff. I'm probably going to release a vlog wherein I'll say all this stuff again. Maybe I'll say it in the channel update video as well. Just because. First question. Have Trust Fisher. That's a very interesting name. Is that your first name, Have Trust? Or is that something you... Because I know people can pretty much make any name they want with the new YouTube/Google system. I don't know. Anyway, if so, I like it. How long does it take you to upload a video of this length with your connection? Now, this isn't really a question I was going to answer here, but I thought it worth mention. I did answer this with a comment reply when the video went up. This was pretty much the first comment on the video. And I think the previous Q&A was around an hour long. The video file itself was 2.7 to 3.2 gigs. I don't know. It's in that range somewhere. I can't say exactly. And for me, on my current connection, which has a 52 kilobytes a second upload, it takes, I don't know, 30 hours? I know that I have to actually, with uploads of that size, pre-plan what I'm going to have, because I have to sort of load up on a couple of videos to publish in the downtime, or at least the time that I'm busy uploading the big video. Else I'm going to have like a full day where I'm not uploading anything, where I'm just busy waiting for this one to finish. Or not uploading, publishing anything. So it takes a long time, between 28 to 32 hours. It depends on how the internet is feeling. It depends on if there are any interruptions and stuff like that. I'm incredibly happy that Google Chrome can resume my uploads nicely. Sometimes it doesn't, but mostly it does. And that's amazing. If I couldn't do that, I'd probably not be able to upload anything at all, because our line drops the whole time. It's so inconsistent that if I watch it on net limiter, then you see it running and then it drips down to like 0 and then it stays there for like a half a minute, then it goes back up and then it starts uploading again, then it goes down to 0, then it goes, and it's sort of a consistent thing. It's just something I can't do anything about. But it takes quite long. I generally have to be very careful with how I plan these things. Any uploads, actually. Then, AVL521. I got the nickname wrong last time. I think I said Elv, ALV. I'm dyslexic. I don't know. I mix things up. So it's actually a common thing as far as I know. If there's a set of numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I sometimes mix the two middle ones up. I switch them around. I actually went for a test at some guy here once. I think it was when I was 16, 17, 18, around then. And then he read numbers to me. It was very interesting. I was kind of fascinated by it. He read these numbers to me. A long, like, sequence of numbers. It must have been like 8 to 10 digits. Then he asks me to read them back to him. So he reads them to me, then I read them back to him. Sort of like a memory game. Then what I did was I got every single one right, except in all of them, I switched two numbers around. I had the same numbers or the right ones, I just switched them around, and they were always in the same place. I think it was the two middle ones. I can't remember. It's pretty funny. It's really funny because I don't realize I'm doing that. To me, it looks normal. I see it as, or see it the way I'm reading it or perceiving it or whatever, and I say it like that because I thought I saw it like that, but when I go back and I look at it, then I see, well, it's different now. But anyway, what about making a special 10-minute video? This is sort of related to what I spoke about last week and the uploading and stuff, but what I spoke about last week about having too many questions, this is another solution for it. What about making a special 10-minute or so video if you find one of those super huge, interesting, super awesome types of questions to answer? That way the Q&A stays awesome and exactly how you want it, and should a great question pop up, you can dedicate a video to it if you feel it's interesting enough. That's cool. It's a good idea. I was thinking about stuff like that. It would sort of be like a vlog, but instead of having vlog there, I'll just put something else in the title. I don't know. I haven't decided or thought about a name yet, but I could do something like that. It's sort of like a mini Q&A or mini rant. It could be about something, stuff like that. I also wanted to soon start up a type of, not movie review kind of thing, but I said it last time, impressions on things. So that could sort of fall in the same category. I'd start them up at around the same time. They'd probably be around the same length, stuff like that. We'll see. Good suggestion though, thank you very much. AVL521. Next question. This one is from Sakirtep Satuativ. I think I asked last time around if I got the name right. I hope I got it right this time. Have you ever seen or heard of Star Citizen? What do you think of the concept? I love the concept. I am a proud backer of Star Citizen. I bought the Scout package, I think it is. I'm trying to remember how much it was. I think it was $35 for the Scout package. It's the one where you get the white Citizens card, and I wanted that specifically because that's the coolest looking one. I'm sorry, everyone else who got the other fancy cards, the white one is the coolest. Done. You also get a little ship and some other special things. You get into the alpha and beta of the game, which is really cool. But Star Citizen itself is something I was actually going to do an adventure-worthy episode on at some point. It would have been a very different adventure-worthy because it's not a game that's really out yet. We don't know a lot about it yet. But Star Citizen is, it's like the perfect idea for me. It's how I wish EVE Online was. At least that's the feeling I'm getting from Star Citizen. I love the freedom that Chris Roberts talks about. I love the choice. I suppose that goes with freedom. The fact that you can do anything you want. I love the fact that you can play it as easily as you can with your friends. I like that it has both a single player and multiplayer component to it. And I love sci-fi. I just love sci-fi. I like how he's drawing influences from all sorts of different worlds out there and just jamming it into one amazingly cool looking space game. I keep saying how I really, really want to get into EVE Online, but I just can't because when you actually play in it, it's not the same. It doesn't feel like you want it to feel. It's not as exciting. It doesn't feel like a grand adventure when you're out there mining the same rock for like 10 minutes straight, or doing these little pick up and drop quests between the different systems and nothing happens. You just flying and flying and fly. I don't know. EVE Online's a really slow game. It's something I wanted to get into, but every time I try, it just doesn't work out. So Star Citizen is hopefully gonna be the one space game. I suppose Elite Dangerous is looking very good as well, but hopefully Star Citizen will be the one space game that I'm actually going to spend some time in and enjoy a lot. I mean, I played Freelancer and that was so good. Freelancer was so much fun. I love exploring space. So good. Anyway, if you haven't heard about Star Citizen yet, you can still Google Star Citizen Kickstarter, or you can go to chrisrobertspaceindustries.com. I think that's the website, and you'll find all the information there. This is actually the only thing I've ever pledged for on Kickstarter. Not because I don't want to pledge or support these games or products or whatever. It's just that I don't really have that much money to throw around. But this one was special enough for me to spend my money on, and I'm really optimistic about it. I am really optimistic. Next question. Yuki Aburame. Any plans on making an adventure worthy on Dungeon Land? It's a casual kind of hack and slash type game where you play as 3 adventurers versus a dungeon master. They seem to have the same, some connection problems right now, but they'll probably be fixed soon enough. I don't currently own Dungeon Land, but I have such a long list of stuff that I wanted to get through with adventure worthy. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just don't know. I'm hoping that you guys are still going to be okay with watching slightly older adventure worthies. So me doing an adventure worthy on a game that's been out for a couple of weeks. I said before that adventure worthy is the type of series, or the episodes are the type of thing that you could watch at any point in time and they'd still be both relevant and enjoyable. So the chances are good that I will get to Dungeon Land at some point. I'm just a little put off by the fact that I don't have someone to really play it with. I realize a lot of people will just jump at the opportunity to do it with me, but it would be cool if I could do a proper dual commentary or something of it or with it or whatever. But at the same time, that's also more hassle because then you need to find 3 people whose schedules can interlink, who can work together to find a time that'll suit them all. And then you need to work out all the sound issues with mic different levels and stressful stuff. I've never even done that yet, but it just feels stressful to me. It does. I've seen how Total Biscuit tries to manage the Game Station podcast, and that looks so tiring. Not that Dodger or Jesse make it easier for him, but it still looks tiring. Next question. Lumin, what playstyle do you plan to take in Bioshock Infinite? This is a cool question. This is from Madara Fanboy 804, i.e. gun and run, power focused, melee, heavy powers, etc. So I've thought about this quite a lot already because I'm super excited for Bioshock Infinite. I am probably going to spend a good amount of time just trying to see everything. And I feel I should mention that because that is part of how I play games, and that's how I'm going to play the game. I'm going to try and look at every single nook and cranny of the game. Every single thing that they have on offer will be checked out by me. Then, when it comes to story and stuff, lore, I'll probably end up reading every single book in the game, every single little excerpt or lore pop-up that comes up. Unless they're really boring and nonsensical, I'll probably still do it. I don't know. But when it comes to actual gameplay, I like guns. I really like me dem guns. If I go for powers and stuff, it'll probably be powers that augment my guns in some way, make me shoot better, faster, more accurate, further, harder, stuff like that. I do like guns. I'm not sure exactly which types of weapons they have in Bioshock Infinite, but that's part of the fun. I'll figure it out as I go in. I also don't know the powers, so there could be really fun powers to use. Maybe just because I like guns, I should not use guns, because it could be more interesting to focus on powers above all else, but I think that this is probably the kind of game where you'd get away quite easily with just using everything. We'll have to wait and see. I am, however, very excited. Now, MMA Tomaz asks or says, you mentioned that South Africa can be South Africa. I said that a little bit fast. Can be a great place to live if you're in a safe part of the country. So my question is a two-parter. Have you ever been in or lived in a dangerous part of South Africa? We lived in Cape Town. I don't know. It's difficult because we lived in a kind of decent area in Cape Town. I would say that it was a safe-ish area, but at the same time, it was still Cape Town. I had my car stolen from an off-street parking place or parking area right from in front of our flat in Cape Town a while ago, but it was stolen by some sort of professionals. All they left me was the handle of the car lying on the floor there, and that was it. We didn't hear a single thing. I don't know how they got the car out of there so easily. They didn't have the key. I went out in the morning with my key in hand, and then I stood at my parking bay and I was like, huh? And then I obviously first thought, okay, I must have parked it around there. Maybe someone was in my bay, so I went and looked. No, that side, no, it's not there. Then I saw the handle on the floor, and my heart sank. It was terrible. Safety-wise, though, it was also not the best place for us to live. I think we once had someone break our handle of our door off, probably trying to pry it open. We lived in a small apartment complex. I think there were five apartments in the block that we lived in. So it wasn't like a big block of flats or whatever. It was sort of just a mini loaf block. The apartments were kind of nice, not tiny, and they weren't really close to each other, but they had a central stairwell that led to all of them, and then we were on the top floor. So what happened was we came back, we saw that the handle was completely like broken and off and missing, and I thought that it could possibly have been something else. Maybe someone was moving furniture across the way from us and they like bumped our handle off, but I doubt that. I really doubt that. Anyway, so that was kind of uncool. I suppose Helene would have more experience with stuff like that because she lived in Johannesburg, and that's probably much worse. I don't know if it was worse by when she lived there back in 2000 and I can't even guess when that was. 10 years ago, maybe a bit longer, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, probably 20 years ago. Then it probably wasn't as unsafe as it is now. But I'm assuming that of the big cities, Cape Town is not as unsafe as some of the others like Johannesburg and Pretoria, maybe even Durban. But yeah, so we lived in a semi-unsafe area. Right now we live in a pretty safe area. Then, the second part of the question, what's the most dangerous / frightening situation you've ever been in? Now this is the exact same question that Frupel Kungen asked. What's the most dangerous situation you've been in? So those two are going together. I don't know. It's tough to say. Dangerous situation, I've been in a car accident that I guess I caused myself. I was driving up a place called Solori's Pass here in the Western Cape, between Cape Town and where we live, and it's sort of a really steep uphill going up the mountain, like winding up the mountain, so that alone feels kind of unsafe. But it was raining that night, and afterwards only I found out that a truck had tipped over halfway up the pass, and I'd say where I had my accident was about a quarter of the way up the pass. I was fine. Let me just put that out there immediately. I didn't have a scratch on me, some whiplash and stuff, but what happened was this truck tipped over earlier in the evening, and then there was a stream of oil going all the way down this pass. Well, not all the way down, but a bit of a section down in one of the lanes, and it happened to be the inside lane. There was a double lane going up, double lane going down, and then I was driving up there, and I lost control of the car when I was in the oil, and it went like sort of up the side. Luckily, I went up the left-hand side, which was the mountain side, like off the road there, and I didn't go over the edge that was like the huge drop down the mountain, because that would have been uncool. So I suppose that alone makes it a super dangerous situation. But then the car like rolled twice, and it landed on its roof back in the road, and it was literally like 2 minutes and the emergency response people were there. As I said though, I was fine, and that was pretty scary, I guess. I mean, I'm okay. I don't have nightmares about it or anything like that. I have nightmares about the fact that I lost that amazing car. It was like totally written off, and luckily the insurance paid for it, because it was like sort of, I don't want to say out of my control, because it was obviously in my control, but that same night there were 5 accidents. That one night, 5 accidents on the one pass. That's what the guy who brought the pickup truck, that came and looked, you know, at my car and stuff, he came there and he was talking to me and he was saying, it's a pity about the car, but, you know, you're not the only one. Apparently, my cousin drove through from Stellenbosch, which was just down the road from there, because he wanted to quickly come look if I was okay and stuff. And then he phoned and he said, well, I'm at the accident and I can't see Sven anywhere. He's not here. Because at the exact same time, there was another accident just around the bend a little bit further down. At the exact same time. My goodness. Anyway, so that, I suppose, is kind of bad. There you go. I don't think I've been in any dangerous situations with people. Not that I can remember. I've had my wallet stolen out of my car, but it's not a dangerous situation because I was not there when it was stolen. I haven't been mugged or anything like that, which I guess makes me fortunate, because a lot of people I know have been mugged and robbed and whatever in big cities and stuff. So that's, you know, I'm thankful for that. That's a good thing. I'm thankful. Next question. This is from Crusade37. Hey Lumin, great videos. Keep up the excellent work. Thank you very much. I left that little part in there so I could say it before the question. That's for me. I was wondering, are there many bikers, motorcycle enthusiasts, or people that love to ride, etc., or whatever you call them in your area /SA? I love riding and the scenery. I've seen in your other area video. He loves riding and scenery, and I'm trying to find where it was. Hold on. Here we go. I love riding and the scenery I've seen in your other area videos, and it makes it look like a great place to ride. There you go. I'm just bad at reading. There's another little part here that I'm going to get to afterwards. It's not related. There are tons of biker clubs here and stuff. There are even more motorbike and car enthusiasts. Yes. Lots and lots and lots. They go on these little breakfast runs, I think they call them. Then they go from like Cape Town, they drive all the way along the coast and look at all the nice scenery, stop off at little farm stalls, coffee shops, stuff like that. They come through our town quite often. Other than that though, I think there are so many both motorcycle and car enthusiasts in this country that it's just not even funny. I would go as far as to call my father an enthusiast of sorts. He's got a motorbike he likes. Every now and then he goes with a couple of his friends that live in town here, close to us. My father lives on the farm, but they live here. They go on their little joyride out with their 3 bikes, and they do the same kind of thing. They just drive. That's it. Or ride. Not drive. They just ride. And I know a lot of people enjoy that. I personally don't do stuff like that. I can see the appeal in it, but hey, there are definitely a lot of people that do like it and do it in this country and in this area. Definitely. On another note, please make the XCOM videos come faster. I'm towards the end of the list, but I hope to get to kill some aliens on your squad. I'm hoping that happens as well. I'm not going to talk about that right now because there are actually more XCOM related questions coming up. Chill. So, Josh Siu asks, hey Lumin, just a suggestion or suggests about the weekly Q&A. As much as I'd love to sit down for an hour and listen, I don't always have the time. Do you think you could add links in the video description to the various times where you answer the questions? So he gives a little way of adding it here, which is not actually the easiest way. You can just put, I think, the time stamp in there, and then it'll automatically sort of skip to it when you click on it. So if someone leaves a comment below saying 10 semicolon 00, it'll skip to 10 minutes in the video. But that's kind of a lot of trouble for me, because that means I'd have to watch the video and then at the start of every question pause quickly, type down the time, play it again, do it over and over and over again. And if there are like 30, 40 questions, then it's going to take me a couple of hours extra to go through all of that to put that down there. So the chances are slim that I'd do that, mainly for that reason. If anything, I could try and paste the questions in the description or something like that, then you can at least see in which order they're being answered. But I can tell you now that generally I work from the bottom up. So from the earliest comment, the guy who leaves the first question is probably going to be close to one of the first that gets answered. I can tell you that. So I hope that helps. But the chances are slim that I'm going to put the timestamps for every single question in the description. Then, Heraculum. Have you ever heard of Project for Awesome? Because I think you'd like the idea of it, and it could also get your name out. I've never heard it. I've never heard it or heard of it. I'm sorry. Sonic Man 86. If you start getting too many questions, you could... Wow, there are a lot of these. I didn't actually realize that so many people gave me suggestions for this. Thank you. Thank you, by the way, to all of you. You could still continue to answer most of them this way. Choose the best ones for the video, and the other ones you might have liked to put in the video, and then just... Oh, and for the other ones that you might have liked to put in the video, just answer them on here in the comments. Oh, and my question for the week: do you watch or play the wonderful game of cricket? Wow. Good question. I will first just answer the first part and say that I could answer the ones that I've already answered, or the ones that I'm not going to answer in the episode in the comment section. Sure, that makes sense, but I'll have to see. In this episode, for instance, I'm going to answer every single question that was posted because I think that I can fit it in, although my voice isn't doing too well. I don't know why. I've come to the conclusion that I should just, if I wake up early, if I wake up at like 8 o'clock or 6 o'clock even, tomorrow we're waking up at 6 o'clock, then I should probably record earlier in the day and not leave these things till late, because it's now 9:20 p.m. and if I do end up recording at this time, I've already been awake for 14 hours, or what is it, 12 to 14 hours, I'm bad at math, a good bunch of hours, and then my voice has already taken some strain and stuff like that. So no, wait, I'm going to work this out now. This is frustrating me. If I wake up at 6, then it's 12 hours till 6, then 3 more hours. Wow, I was close. 15 hours. Okay, there you go. Fine. So I should start recording these things earlier in the day, but I don't know why I don't. I was editing stuff earlier today, and for some reason the thought of recording things just totally escaped me. I got so caught up. He said how's it here. How's that? Howzat. Isn't that a cricket term? You just asked about cricket. Isn't that a cricket term? Wow. I don't like cricket. I don't watch cricket. I don't follow cricket. I don't really think it's a wonderful game. I, once again, get how people can enjoy it. Same goes for rugby. I get how people can enjoy it. If I had to choose between cricket, rugby, and soccer, I'd probably choose soccer, and then rugby, and then cricket. It's sad but true. And above all of those, I'd probably choose the American sports like baseball and basketball and stuff before any of them, just because it seems more exciting to me. I don't know if it is. It just seems more exciting. Above the lot of those, I'd probably watch Formula 1 racing or bike racing or something like that. I just enjoy that more. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's a mechanical sport. There are machines involved. I like that. I really do. I like Olympic stuff as well. Who doesn't like watching the Olympics? I know I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, but that stuff is so fun to watch. All these other games that happen with like the same kind of events as the Olympics. Any of that stuff is so good. Weightlifting. That is so impressive to watch. Gymnastics. Whew. But no, I don't watch or play the wonderful game of cricket. I did when I was much younger, but not anymore. I did play it, not watch it. Next, Trevor Sherwood. This is the XCOM question, I think. It's a part 1 and part 2 question. First, do you have a date for when you'll finish the XCOM series? Good question. I don't want it to go on forever, but let me just read the second one. Secondly, you still have a lot of names on your list. If you do finish the XCOM series, will you transfer the remaining names to a similar game? That is a brilliant idea, and I'd love to do something like that. I just have to find a game that would facilitate such a large list of names. I don't know. Somehow I'm still busy hanging in there. And Trevor Sherwood, I must say, it's in no small part thanks to you. You have left me some amazingly good, solid tips. You've probably been on Central the most out of anyone. You and Just Heisinger. Those two names. Constantly up there. The rest of the people leave these crazy little tidbits of knowledge that I just can't comprehend as well. And it helps me out so much. But your name does keep popping up. So thank you for that, firstly. And your question is good. I don't know. It's difficult to answer. I want it to end at some point, but I'm not going to be able to call it now. I want to see how my playthrough goes. The chances are I'll do something more with the list after I'm done with XCOM. Chill. I'm bumping my pop filter. But the chances are good because it's a fun idea. I like how it gets people involved. I like being able to make up those little stories for the characters. Even if they aren't really related to you guys, it's still fun. It's a bit of fiction that you can just toss in there to make this super serious game that much more entertaining. There you go. Not that the gameplay isn't entertaining, I love it, but still. So, Axela. Is that what that says? Axela Alexa. No, Axela Alexa? I don't even know what this says. Oh my goodness, that nickname. Axel Alexa. There you go. Axel Alexa. Done. Got it. Hi, Lumin. Would you ever like to be on TV? I think it'd be a great TV presenter. I would love to be on TV if it was for the right reasons, or on the right show, or to do the right thing. I don't know. I am not going to say I'm going to push to get on TV, but who knows? I would not say no to it if the offer was made, but at the same time, South African TV is not something I aspire towards at all. I just don't. Sure, there may be a lot of people that watch South African TV, but that's not the kind of audience I want to reach. Maybe it is. Maybe I can be the change this country needs. I don't know. No, the chances are slim. I don't think South Africans watch my stuff. Not a lot of South Africans. I know there are some South Africans amongst you, but statistically, there aren't that many. I think out of my 17,000, I probably got about 700, no, not even 700, 350, 400 South Africans, if even that. I don't know. But the percentage is like really low. Anyway, Saki Hanagima. Don't know if you've been asked this, but what do you think of the announced guild missions in Guild Wars 2? I, for one, am thoroughly looking forward to seeing these. I am too. I have been asked this, but not in a Q&A or anything like that. I think on one of my newsmans, and I did reply to it, but I copy-pasted the description of it so that I could just read it to the lot of you that don't know what the guild missions are. Here we go. Join your fellow guild members to take on an entirely new category of content. These missions, designed for coordinated group play, include everything from bounties to group puzzles to cross-country challenges. You need to work together to complete the missions and earn guild merits, which can unlock cool upgrades and rewards. It pays to be in a guild. I don't know how all of this is going to happen or play out or be put into the game or integrated into the UI and stuff like that, but the idea behind it is really cool. I just hope that it is going to be fun and extra stuff. It's not going to be, firstly, required, and secondly, I'm hoping that you're not going to need the entire guild to do it. I'm hoping that you can go with groups of like 20 or 30 people, or even less, to do these things. I'm hoping they scale properly. I hope it's not just things like, do this jump-in puzzle with 10 guild members close by. That's just silly. I hope it's not stuff like that, but we'll have to wait and see. You know, the thing is that for this to work, they're really going to have to work on the core game systems of Guild Wars, like the phase-in / cull-in system that they got. They're going to have to improve that a little bit. I don't know if the improvements that they recently recently made with it are actually working right now. But I still feel that the game itself needs a lot of work before they start adding new content. We'll see. But I'm super excited for this. I will also say that another thing I really want them to add is a more robust guild system in general. The guild interface needs to be worked on. Actually, the entire UI of the game needs to be worked on. I'm not going to rant about that right now, but those are my thoughts. There are things that need to be improved, but I am excited for guild missions. We're going to be going on lots of guild missions. There are a bunch of spaces in the Illuminati right now, so if any of you guys want to join Aurora Glade, EU, the Illuminati, go. Go now. Hey Lumin, this is from Psychatic64. Psychatic? I think that's how you say it. Do you read comic books, webcomics, or other non-manga graphic novels? No. No, I don't. I have definitely answered this before, but I like them. I love looking at the pictures. I just like how the books look. I would probably just enjoy having a shelf of comic books like back here, or like a display of them or something. I know the manga looks quite unique. I think they look different, but I love how comic books look. I love it. The art in the comics, amazing. The covers are always so eye-catching and stuff. I just love comics. I used to read a lot of other types of comics when I was younger. I don't know if Tintin counts as a comic, but I read a lot of Tintin. Got all the books somewhere in a box over here. Or maybe I don't have the books. Maybe my sister took it because she's got a son now that's getting to that age. And if she does have them, then great. I think Oren will enjoy them. But is Tintin a comic? I think Tintin's a comic, isn't it? Tintin was fun. He's a true adventurer. Anyway, there you go. Flying just to fall. You should probably do a Cooking with Lumin series. I bet all of us would enjoy that. And including Helene in some episodes. Of course, we all know what a beautiful girl she is. That would make the video 10 times more enjoyable for everyone watching. And myself making it. Just having Helene in there. But, yes, I would love to do that. The only problem is that I've got so many series running at the moment that trying to fit that in and trying to commit to having those up every now and then is going to be a bit difficult for me. Maybe if I say, well, I'll do one a month, one cooking episode a month, or one every 2 weeks. I don't know. If I have a sort of schedule with that and I say to myself, this is when I do it, then when that's done, this is the next time I do it, and after that, then I'll do it, then it could be easier. Then there's sort of, I want to say less pressure because then I know it's coming, I see it coming, I expect it to be then, and it also gives me time to think of things to make. I think I've done thus far a funny little vegetable salad type thing and a pumpkin pie. So those two were really good. I enjoyed making those. I think if I have to do that, I probably would end up doing another pumpkin pie and then give you 2 variations, because last time I made one with Helene and she made the most amazing thing as well. She added so much egg to hers on purpose, of course, a whole bunch of egg white to make it more healthy, I guess, and lighter, less calories. And then it ended up being something different. It ended up having a totally different feel to it, and that's something I'd also love to show you guys. But I'll definitely think about it. I will definitely think about it. I'm bringing the Lumail backs. Look at me just trying to shorten things off. Yeah, no, bringing the Lumail box back soon. Lumail backs. The Lumail box is coming back soon. I've got a envelope chock full of awesome stuff over there that I want to have a look at, and that's sort of the same type of series, except it doesn't involve cooking and tasty food and stuff. But the next part, do you ever play multiplayer shooters? If you do, would you ever consider playing some games with your subs? Now, I would love to do that. I would probably, if I lived in a first world country closer to some proper internet and the servers of these games, I'd probably be doing that a lot more often. But I can only play multiplayer shooters with South African players. Sadly, I get about 190 to 250 ms ping latency to international servers in whichever game. I think I tried in Quake Live, Counter-Strike, Those are pretty much the only two. But I used to be so into those type of games. I played so much Quake 3 Arena, not Quake Live, so much Quake 3 that it's not even funny. I played a ton of Counter-Strike, used to be good at them. I used to enjoy them so much. I used to be able to play them for hours and hours on end without getting tired or bored of them at all. I like it. But the only games I can play with subscribers would end up being things like Dota, things like Guild Wars, things where I would anyway have to play on the international servers, so it wouldn't really matter. But with those games, it's pointless playing with over 200 latency because you'd never be able to hit anything. Also, games like Guild Wars allow me to have many more people in the same area involved at the same time, so that makes it obviously a better first choice. Then, the next part of this question, maybe even Assassin's Creed multiplayer. I think you'd love that. I haven't really tried much of Assassin's Creed multiplayer, but I am doing my Assassin's Creed 3 Adventure Worthy soon, and I'm thinking of doing an extras part for the multiplayer section of the game, so look forward to that in the coming weeks. Then, secret question, shh, are you an ass or boob man? Lol. He made a little lol there because he's embarrassed to be asking stuff like this. I actually asked Helene what she thinks I am because I don't know how to answer this question, and I think we came to the conclusion that I'm a boob man. But she said that I must point out, and she's right, that I don't like really big ones. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I prefer them slightly smaller. That's where I'm leaving it. No more boob talk. Get out of here with those questions. If you want to ask them, feel free, but, you know, whatever. Vizone 3000. Hey, Lumin. I have a few questions. One, assuming you and Helene will try out TESO, the Elder Scrolls Online, which of the three factions will you two join? What race and what class will Helene be? I know what class you'll be, so I won't bother asking. Now, Elder Scrolls Online, I'm going to be playing in the Eldamiri Dominion. For sure. They are so cool. They are by far the coolest faction of the lot. Mainly because they've got the Khajiit and the Wood Elves. I mean, they do have the High Elves, so that's kind of a strike against them. But if we had to play that together, the chances are I'd make a Wood Elf, she'd make a High Elf because she'd want to play a caster type thing, and I would want to play an archer of some descript. I don't know what kind of archer. I think that the class and or leveling system is sort of similar to how the Elder Scrolls games work now, where you can have pretty free reign over what you want to do, so you can go pretty much entirely archer if you want to. Full on archery, and that could be fun. I'll probably end up going for something similar to what I do in Skyrim right now, but who knows. We'll have to wait and see how the game actually plays. Helene would probably make a healer of sorts. Someone that casts buffs. If you had to choose of the trees in Skyrim right now, she'd probably go for a mix of the slightly more support / buffing type ones. I think that would be like illusion and conjuration and alteration. Are those three? I don't know. A mix between those or something like that. Maybe she'll splash in some destruction in there for fun. Who knows? On Helene's birthday vlog, I noticed that someone in the thumbnail, Helene, question mark, yes it was Helene, had a really nice tattoo. What's your opinion on them, and would you ever get a tattoo yourself? If you didn't want one, even if you didn't want one, what type of design would you get? Sorry, I'm bad at reading, it's late and I'm tired. So, in my opinion, I'm a big fan of tattoos. I think they can be super amazing, they can look really good, but at the same time, on the flip side, they can be terrible and tacky. Never go for tribal. Don't. I don't like that. Or barbed wire or that kind of stuff. I don't know, I just don't get that kind of thing. Maybe it's just not my kind of tastes, but like, that's not the kind of thing that I like if I had to get one, what type of design would I get? I don't know, something sort of simple. Something that meant something. I know, for instance, that my sister's husband, Paul, has a tattoo around his wrist, I think it is, with his son's birth date in Roman numerals. It looks really cool. I'm assuming they're going to put their daughter's birth date in there too. My sister is actually having a baby this coming weekend, which is amazing. You can say congratulations to her if you get to this point in the video. But that's cool. That's a nice idea. That's a really nice idea. Stuff like that would be okay with me. But that was the last question. It's very quiet in here now that Helene stopped playing Guild Wars. I'm done. Is she even out of the game? She is. I think she is. That's going to be it for this video. If you have any questions, leave them as comments and I'll answer them. If I had answered them before, I might answer them with a comment in the comment section of the video. We'll have to wait and see. That's it. Check back soon for more. Most importantly though, happy leaving those questions and enjoy the answers, and happy 17,000 subscribers. By the time this video goes up, we should be past 17,000. So happy that.